Dice. Rolls. Dragons. Trolls.
Dadventurous.
Welcome to
Dadventurous.
I made you guys do it.
Oh, okay. I dropped out halfway.
It's just all
So
Mom.
then it's just me?
It's just you.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect, of course, introduction to the fact that the mom is here for our
Abridged?
No, what's the word? Our break week. Our one-shot week. I don't know.
Interlude.
An interlude. Thank you.
There we
The
go.
interlude episode. Betweens.
Season 2.
Betweens. Campaign 2 and 3.
This already sounds like it's going to go real
It's
well.
going
Yep,
well.
we're doing great.
And so we have decided to do a little re-adventure, a little callback adventure here. We are going back to some characters that we recently played with. We did the Peril in Pinebrook adventure, the free one-shot that you can get online. And you guys created some pretty hilarious characters, and we've decided to get back into them a little bit. We are going to be doing a special one-shot tonight, and we're going to just jump right in if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, without further ado.
Shall we enter in?
Oh, we're already in.
Oh.
Surprise. It's nighttime. A muggy midsummer night. The stars twinkling in the sky. Were you laughing because I said midsummer night?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a Shakespeare play for those of you who care. It's a twinkling starry night. A soft, warm breeze. Not enough to feel like you need a jacket. Enough to kiss the skin with a little blanket warmth, you know?
So we are going Shakespearean here.
Yes.
All right.
And we find our team.
Team?
Rooftop. Hiding behind the eaves. Is that what it's called? Kind of like the border of a building, you know, where you can get down low, like a battlement, but for just a normal building. You guys are crouched down, enjoying this soft breeze, and you are awaiting the timed out message that you are to receive from your inside man. And you are waiting across from the new, the deadly looking, the extravagant Wrigley's Biscuit Bastion.
Oh.
A new building.
So he's expanded.
He's expanded.
See.
And we find 3 figures on the roof. Who is it that we are looking at right now?
We're looking at a high elf with blue scales over her left eye, who currently has a little red hood flipped up over her head, and she's looking kind of nervous, but also excited. And my name is Menesidir Luridian.
Yep, and I'll definitely use the full thing this time and not mess it up.
All right. Call me Min.
That's my plan.
Or don't.
There's a stocky dwarf sprawled out on her stomach, even though she doesn't need to be. But she is peering over the edge of the roof. And she's...
Didn't I say there was a lip?
I mean, you said there's a lip, but it's a little, like, yeah. So I'm down on the ground anyway,
Love
peeking
it.
through a
Your
crack.
head's like bent backwards up over the ledge.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kind of scratching the top of my head, waiting, drumming my fingers on my thigh, looking at Min, waiting for the like a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Great axe in my other hand. You know, gotta carry it with me, and big heavy sigh. I'm not the patient folk. You've got Dirtha Hardhead just waiting for the go.
Name was Hardhead. So
Accurate.
So fitting. And the third figure on the roof is, of course, a tiger-sized, small blue dragon.
He's silver.
Silver dragon.
That's why his name is Orn.
I
it means
remember the
silver.
story exactly. A
Was
silver dragon. About, like panther-sized, tiger-sized. I think it was smaller than that before. The point is, some time has passed. About a year, to be exact. And so, little Orn, the definitely silver dragon, has grown a little bit.
All right.
while you were waiting, I think, Dirtha, you have the sending stone. You are holding this magical stone, and on the other end of this stone, you know that you're waiting for a call. You guys are waiting for this call, this important call.
From our inside man.
Your inside man to begin the heist. It's not coming yet. Obviously, there's no clocks in the world, but you feel like it's running late.
Yeah, Dirtha's getting a little fidgety.
Yeah.
Just peep the head up and over the battlement, come back down. Peep it up just like 2 seconds later and come back down. Like.
Say, Dirtha, if you don't stop moving, we might get noticed.
It's so hard to wait.
Yes, let's give it a few more minutes.
And we're going to introduce, in this moment, as you guys are a little impatient, a little bit waiting, looking at that sending stone, we're going to utilize the first of our flashback scenes. So my plan this episode, just so you guys know, is that each of you is going to get 3 flashback moments.
Oh.
And the point is we're just going to jump into this heist, and you guys are going to come across obstacles. And if you would like to use your flashback moment, you're going to improv a flashback scene where you're going to tell me how you have prepared, what item you bought, what training you've done, what person you bribed, whatever, to overcome that obstacle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, we are going to doodly-doo back to a few weeks ago. You guys were deep in the forest, ice trolls. You've been hunting them for the better part of a year. You saved all of Chisviorn's children, I believe.
From the trolls?
Yeah, from the ice trolls. You became this dragon's hunters, right? And the forest is cleared of ice trolls. You guys have done your duty. And Pinebrook and the surrounding area has become a peaceful forest haven, except for the one little pocket still where the ice troll king is supposed to live. And you guys were venturing through the forest, a little bit of snow on the ground, going towards the ice troll king's lair, and you break through these little trees, branches crack, and in front of you is a very large hut, circular in shape, a lot of crazy looking bones coming off of it, and around the hut is just unconscious trolls, including the ice troll king.
Unconscious?
Unconscious, sleeping. What do you do in this flashback?
I kick the ice troll king.
He goes,
Dirtha, wait. Dirtha.
brr.
All right.
Huh.
Guess we can use this moment to look around.
I tie up the ice troll king.
Dirtha spends a lot of time tying up the ice troll king.
I hand her some more rope if she needs it.
She will.
I'm gonna start stringing them together.
No.
Right.
I'll take the credit for whatever's going on.
Yeah.
I'm piecing them together.
I hand you my rope, and Min is going to take this chance, I think, to go into the hut.
You go up to the hut, and
to
there
the
is a
hut.
door, seemingly made of weird segmented pieces of bone.
Okay.
On a hinge, kind of creepy tattered cloths hanging down, a smell that you maybe would have expected to be bad, but as you get closer, it's kind of delicious.
Oh, I think, like,
The mom is giving me strange looks.
what type of smell? Like, is it a savory? Is it a sweet?
It's a savory for sure.
Savory smell.
Sure, yeah. No.
All I smell is troll feet.
Yeah, the
I'm
outside
tying
does
them
not
up.
smell good.
I think I look back at Dirtha and kind of give her a little acknowledgement that I'm going in.
Doesn't sound like she's listening. Go on.
Dirtha's totally like humming to herself, just, making a little ditty about Dirtha the Mighty and slaying all of these troll things.
Right.
I love that.
I think Min is going to unsheath her dagger and is going to attempt to push or pull the door open.
The door
Following
appears to
my
be
nose.
maybe not locked, but latched. And as you go to push on it, it rattles slightly. And you hear a voice from inside go, "Eh? Who out there? Eh?
Hello? Are you?
Who? Speak up!"
I go a little louder, trying not to awaken the trolls. Who are you?
Me? hold on. And then you hear like a clunk, clunk. You hear a rattle. You hear all this stuff coming on, and you hear like 7 doors, like door locks unlock. And then,
does Dirtha notice any of this, or she is like
does
humming?
Dirtha notice any of this?
No.
Yeah, no. And then the bone door swings open. You have your dagger out, maybe ready for whatever.
Ready for...
The figure inside catches you a little off guard because her head is not visible above the door frame, but her big rotund belly is. And bending down and peeking through is the withered, old, wrinkly, eye-patched face of an ogre lady.
Oh.
And she goes, "Hey? Who? What? You're so little."
Yes. Are you,
I'm Brizelda.
Oh.
Brizelda, the sorcerer ogress. I even wrote that down.
Well.
The sorcerogress?
Sorcerer ogress. Get it?
Nice.
Everybody.
I'm
closing my eye in real life too to really sell it. It's just so you guys know.
Are you involved with the trolls?
I mean, not anymore. They're asleep. Who's that over there? She points at Dirtha. You do hear that.
Okay, I like sit up and I grab my great axe that I had put down while I was tying him up, and I point at myself. Me?
Yeah, you, the dwarven one. What's your deal?
I stand up and I flex a little bit. I'm Dirtha the Mighty. I'm sure you've heard of me.
She comes out and she waddles over to you. And she
has
does
to duck like through the door.
Yeah, she ducks through the door. She shimmies through. She walks over like thud, thud, thud as she goes over, and you're posing. And she does that grandma thing where she feels your muscles.
I flex really hard.
Goes, oh, so strong. You small folk are so funny.
I think Min is at very much of a loss right now. Do you live here?
Yeah, this is my hut. And these trolls were coming by and making all sorts of ruckus. So I said, no trolls. Patrol this household. You're not trolls, are you?
No.
I knew that. I was being facetious.
I think we can handle these here for you. Dirtha the Mighty's got it all under control. And I finish like tying them all up together so that I can haul them back into town to collect a reward, hopefully.
Yeah, wonderful. Here, you could borrow this. And she points at a awkward avocado that she's growing on the ground, and very like Cinderella-esque. She like casts a spell, and it turns into an avocado carriage with avocado pit wheels. It's
avocado.
Also, the inside is still just an avocado, just a giant carved out avocado. She goes, "Here, yeah, you throw them in there, and then maybe they don't smell so bad or something."
Dirtha's completely unfazed. It's like, magic. Yeah, I could do that, and start stuffing them all into the avocado carriage.
Miss Brizelda?
Yeah, Brizelda.
Do you know of any more trolls? Are there any more trolls around here?
Well, best I seen, they've been gotten rid of. That's the word.
Oh yes,
by Dirtha the Mighty.
We did that.
totally taking credit.
Okay.
I'm
You
Minessadir.
did? You're what?
I'm Minessadir.
You're what?
Min.
Thank you. And she goes, well, if you're responsible for the troll removal, you're all right by me. Come inside. I'll get you a biscuit to go.
You have biscuits?
Biscuits? I'm Brizelda, am I not? The sorcerer ogress.
Dirtha just...
Sorcerer ogress.
Her eyebrows like furrow, and she just kind of,
There's biscuits.
I give Min a thumbs up, and I'll do this. You do that.
Is Orn with us?
Yes, I'll say it about that time. Orn jumps from the tree that he was hiding in, growls ferociously, expecting to have been in a troll battle, sees what's going on, and just pads over to you.
All right.
And nudges your arm.
And this is our charge, Orn.
It looks like a tiger-sized dragon.
Well, yes.
I like how you're still one-eyed right now.
This is called method acting.
I say,
it looks like it's getting hard.
I would be delighted.
Come on in.
The biscuits smell delicious.
Yeah, they do. I'm great at biscuit cooking.
Do you know of any? I follow her through.
Yeah.
Do you know of any recipes?
I got a few here. Here we go. We got, what do we got? Oh, boy. We got acorn biscuits.
Oh.
We got
Pull out my
mushroom
book of biscuits.
biscuits.
Really?
We got biscuits. Like a biscuit where you cook another biscuit inside of it. Little magic involved.
Oh, double biscuits. Yes, I've heard of those.
A biscuit. Get it right.
yes, I'm sorry.
And then she starts mumbling and she
What
goes,
do you-
"It's no pine biscuit, though. I wish I had
What?
my pine biscuit recipe, but that guy stole it."
Excuse me?
Like that guy stole it.
Excuse me? Did you say pine biscuit?
Yeah, of course. That was my original recipe. My first one, when I first became a Griselda, the sorcerer ogress.
I snap my book of biscuits shut, stand on my tiptoes in front of her.
You are now up to her waist.
Okay. And I say, you invented the pine biscuit?
Yeah, of course. Some little orc came by once. He made a deal with me, and he told him he wanted a biscuit for power and stuff, and I gave it to him. He swindled me, and he took my biscuit recipe, and I haven't been able to make one since. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry.
What are you both laughing at? I'm a very serious character.
Hand over here.
That he made a deal with you to get the power of the pine biscuit.
Well, that was what he was supposed to do. Yeah, he was supposed to get me something, and I would pay him in the biscuit thing.
Oh, but he stole.
He snuck in and took my recipe instead. He's a thief, but not the good kind of thief.
What's the good kind of thief?
She eyes you with one eye. The kind who might be willing to get a biscuit recipe back.
Well,
My biscuit recipe. Dirtha's outside right now. Finished shoving all the trolls into this avocado.
They're all like
carrot.
arms are sticking out. They're all covered in avocado. It's like a guacamole now. A guacatrolli.
She's like, she's carefully looking around and making sure that nobody's looking. Gotta make sure nobody's looking.
You can try.
Well, I rolled a 19.
Okay,
I
then.
did good.
Yeah, no one's looking.
Cool.
Well, except Orn, I guess, who's still outside. But in a way that like an animal would look at you.
Orin's gonna be my buddy. We
you guys
Bonded.
Yeah, you bonded enough.
That I'm gonna swipe the interior of this carriage with the spoon that I carry in
Nice.
my pack
Okay.
and try the avocado.
It's really good.
Sweet.
It's so
I
good.
eat a little bit of the carriage while looking around and making sure nobody's looking.
Yeah.
I need a snack.
You got a
Nice.
snack.
Griselda.
That's me.
My specialty is biscuit recipes.
What is it?
And I hold up my little book of biscuits that
Oh,
I
look
have.
at that cute little book. I mean, it's like normal size for you, I guess. But
Yes. And, well, I too have been searching out the pine biscuit, and I would be delighted if you would allow me and my comrade to perhaps steal this copyright infringement.
Why, you know
Yours?
where he is or something?
Oh, yes, I've met Wrigley. I believe that was his name.
Yeah,
Wrigley.
Wriggles.
Wriggles.
Before, and back in my hometown. And
He's a little punk, isn't he?
yeah,
Little swindler.
He is. And he's rather annoying.
He is.
I never knew that, I thought he's told everyone that he invented the pine biscuit. And
Of course he did. Well, I tell you what, if you know where he is, and you can get that recipe back for me, I'll make a copy for you.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And maybe some other treasure or something. I don't know.
Really?
I'm Griselda. I'm a wild card.
How how long ago did you make the biscuit recipe, the pine biscuit?
Well, let me tell you. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo. And she told you about how she created it. It was one of her first magical spells. The pine biscuit has restorative properties, all this stuff. She tells you the whole tale. And you were in the middle of remembering. You were in the middle of going through this thing that just happened to you a couple weeks ago. This original deal. Get the pine biscuit back. And you hear...
Dirtha like almost fumbles the sending
Don't
stone
drop it.
because it was so shocking.
Hey, it's Doughball.
Pastries in the oven. I repeat, pastries in the oven.
Okay.
And so you guys know that this is Doughball, your inside man. Code names have been used.
Wait,
Feel free to
can you
improv some
pick
code
ours?
names.
Oh, dough ball. like
Yeah,
dough, like
dough
kneading
ball.
dough. I was like, wow, what a name.
Just
I thought Dirtha was great.
Doughball.
Dough ball.
Yeah, Doughball.
Got it.
This is a code name. And he is your inside man. And pastry in the oven is code for he managed to keep the front door unlocked for the evening's shift.
All right.
Again, pastries in the oven.
Say.
This is a sending stone. You can talk back. Just in case.
Dirtha hold like now that she's fumbled the sending stone, picks it up and like shakes it again. She's trying to remember like how was I shown how to use this? And she goes, the mighty scone.
Wow.
Mighty scone.
Love it.
It's not gonna be good.
I love
Chris
it.
was real low. The mighty scone we understand, right? And I look at Min.
I say, Doughball, this is recipe book.
Recipe book.
Doughball,
Alright.
this is recipe book. We hear you loud and clear.
Cool. So, we're good then?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Radio silent.
See you next Tuesday.
Radio? No. Sending stone silent.
I know what you meant. Yeah, see you next
Overnight.
Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
See ya.
We're going to meet right at like 6 over at
The bowling alley?
the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Just checking. Doughball, of course, your bowling partner. Really cool guy. He potentially worked, we'll find out, at Regley's Biscuit Bastion as the kitchen.
Dishwasher.
Yeah. Like the busser, dishwasher, floor cleaner. But it was all a ruse because Doughball, of course, is a very charismatic, and so he is an actor. And he has been actoring his way in to Regley's Biscuit Bastion. You guys get the call, and you know that is the beginning of the heist maneuver. You need to get from this building to that building, to the front door. You peek over the edge, make a perception check.
Absolutely.
Recipe book got a 22.
Mighty scone has a 13.
We can use our normal names, maybe.
Wait, what's
Dirtha's like laying
You're
on her
in
stomach
it?
and she's still pulling herself way up over the battlement
Okay.
now. To look.
what's Orn's code name? Utensil?
We'll call him Platter. All right.
All right, platter.
Okay. And you guys peek over the edge and you see, what'd you get? Sorry, 22 and
13.
13. You
Right.
both pretty easily see. Security tonight, a little tight. And out front, there are 3 guards dressed in their traditional dough-colored armor and a biscuit hat.
Wait.
Regley's really upped his game.
Question. Is it a hat that's shaped like a biscuit or is it a biscuit that acts as a hat?
They get fresh biscuit hats every day because that puts off the most biscuity smell. So they are both security as well as advertisement. And
Oh,
Orn
do they
perks
have-
up next to you guys.
Do you have extra crusty tops?
They do. Orn perks up next to you guys and kind of looks at both of you and goes, "Brr?" Or actually, didn't he go, hooey?
Yeah. It was,
He's older
grown,
now.
yeah,
He
now
should
he's
have
grown.
a few words.
Huh? Yeah. That's what he said.
You just, yeah.
My
Okay.
characters are going to be weird tonight.
all right.
And kind of gets all excited, spreads his wings a little bit.
All right, Orn.
What are we doing, folks? See, the trick, audience members, is I told them nothing because what I didn't want is for us to have a 2-hour planning session. And so instead, we are dealing with, you guys are sitting across a 2-story building, Wrigley's Biscuit Bastion, a castle-like fortress, way bigger than it has any right to be, with a main entrance where he has a little bakery and cafe and keeps the biscuits there. The rest of inside here, you don't know what to expect, but you know that somewhere deep in here is, of course, the Biscuit Vault, Regley's Vault, where the recipe may be.
All right.
So, whatever you think you may need or want to do, let me know and I'll explain more. And don't forget your flashbacks that you have to use, but you only get 3 each.
Do you have anything to use or should I do something silly?
I turn to you and say, well, we can either distract them or try to sneak our way through? I have a little bit of abilities to do that, but...
I have no abilities to do any sort of sneaking.
Okay, so do you want to distract them?
I can distract them while you open the door and sneak through. What story?
You're on the second story.
How did we get up here in the first place?
You guys came up through the building itself. There was a stairwell up to the roof. You've been out here all day. There's probably remnants of dinner and a card game that you were playing earlier. And so there is a way down to the street.
Yeah, I want
you can
normal.
Normal.
No, it's evening, so
Yeah.
I'm going to normal come down into the street and have my arm around Orn like I need his support and be shuffling along and be like, has anybody seen the nearest bathroom? Hey, you there? And I point to one of the guards.
His biscuity head turns towards you.
How far away from the rooftop is the front door?
Basically down the street.
Stumble
You guys,
along.
did you also want to have come down to street level?
I think so.
Okay, you guys both
Yeah.
come down to street level, but you stumble out with this silver dragon.
Yeah, it's like he's totally normal, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. And you guys are, with him being tiger-sized, you're pretty similar in height, aren't you?
Yeah,
Dirtha's
I'm
short.
a dwarf. I'm only like 4 feet.
Okay.
So I've got his arm, like my arm with him, and we're just like, you know.
And one of the biscuit guards looks your way, his biscuity hat putting off a faint aroma of buttery goodness and sweat. Because he's worn a warm biscuit hat all day. He looks over at you and he goes, "Hey guys, check this out. There's a dwarf with a dragon looking for a bathroom. Haven't seen that since last week."
Hey, you going in? Well, I ate something. It's not sitting real right. Do you have a bathroom?
Okay, make a something check.
Yeah,
Persuasion or deception, I'll leave it up to you.
Deception. Nope, that's a 10.
I cast Prestidigitation on Dirtha to make her smell slightly like vomit.
Okay,
Just
can you
slightly.
stealth check? Because I believe prestidigitation still requires...
I was
verbal.
hiding.
Well,
in the
but it
back.
still requires certain amounts, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not a high DC, but make a stealth check.
Just making the whole like. Whoa.
I know that
Oh,
those
no.
noises
Yeah.
that never sound good.
Stealth?
Yeah,
9?
a 9. Okay, and right off the bat, the first guard, he looks at you and he goes, "Whoa, keep back! I don't want to get in the splash zone here." Yeah. So down the street from here, about 14 blocks, is a public restroom you can use by the fountain.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Oh.
And then if I can like stumble forward to where they're in like a 15-foot cone from me.
Oh no!
This is the symbol
I'll
that
say
this is the
distraction.
that we've agreed on.
I will
And-
also say that at about that time, 2 of the guards are looking over your shoulder and they're kind of like nudging each other and they're kind of pointing towards where Min probably is.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you kind of catch sight of that.
I bring my hands up like I'm gonna cover my face.
Oh, guys! And the guy like
and then
scoots back and pushes them all together conveniently into a 15-foot cone.
my hands start to glow all icky, kind of like orange color, and I go "Bleh," and cast color spray at them in this like spew. It's just
Beautiful.
ends up being a spew of light, but I want them to flinch
Okay.
from that like
Yeah. And
sort of
what,
feeling.
what happens?
They need to
during
make
that?
a Constitution saving throw,
The spray of light? Oh,
and you need to be ready.
yeah.
All terrible. The highest I got was a 10.
Okay, the 10 actually succeeds.
Okay.
Because my stats are, again, it's Dirtha. It's
Yeah.
bad. But the other 2 are going to be blinded.
So the 2
one,
that actually noticed Min are suddenly blinded a little bit by like the actual color display and a little bit because for a moment they really think that they're getting like thrown up on.
For the one that succeeded in the blind,
He was
can
the
I
guy
make
kind of helping you.
Can I make a performance check and see if he's at least like reacted or flinched from the like
Yeah,
vomit
sure.
action?
Okay. Technically, minor illusion is also a cantrip and does not require a verbal component. Can I make an illusion of a little bit of spit up from Dirtha?
Gross. To help with
To help
To
with
give
the-
to give me advantage,
give
maybe
advantage.
because I
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
I will allow you to have advantage.
It's still bad. I rolled a 6 now, so it's a 4 on my performance.
He sees the illusion come from, like, your magic over the shoulder a little bit, and he's like, hey, what's going on here? Guys, I think they're, dare I say it, biscuit thieves.
Okay.
Don't forget about your flashbacks.
We're handling
You're
it.
saving
We're
them for
handling
now.
it so
That's
far.
fine. But just so you know. Also, Orn is there. Would you like to direct Orn to do any sort of behavior to help or hurt with this? Because he is, in fact, a baby dragon wormling.
Okay.
And I'm
Over.
looking at, and I'm going, and my eyes are kind of like really wide right now. Goes, oops, that
Question.
didn't work.
Over the almost year that we've had
Uh-huh.
Orn, I think we've come up with a signal for him to.
Yeah, it's when you
Attack.
guys do bad at stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, I think I kind of reach over to Orn
Mhm.
and pat him 3 times on the head.
Okay. Is that your signal?
And yeah, I think trying to keep it a little
Okay.
and
He
nod towards the guards.
Yep, he rears back and he does the thing that he can do, which is he inhales and then he blasts forth a cold breath
Ooh.
that hits these guards and they have to make saving throws, which they all fail. They are going to take, wow, really bad. Really bad.
Uh-oh.
So bad. 5d8. I did 13 cold damage.
Damn.
No, sorry. 15 cold damage to these guards.
Oh.
And you notice their bodies kind of lock up a little bit. And they all kind of tink, tink, tink like dominoes fall down. But they're not unconscious.
But they're frozen.
They are frozen.
Would we know how long this lasts?
It doesn't last too terribly long. I would say probably somewhere in the vicinity of, on a night like tonight, like 10 minutes.
I
Okay.
grab 2 of them and pull them into the building next door that we've been using to get up on the roof.
Okay.
And shove them in.
Okay.
And
Aye.
hopefully, and I think the plan, Orn, grab the other.
Yeah, Orin grabs it by the foot.
And we drag him in and we say, Min, go, go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I rush in. I'm glad I didn't have to use my thing
You
yet.
rush in,
I-
you throw the door open, and you bump into the belly of a very, very tall, very, very muscular human man, who, of course, is Doughball. And
Hi.
Doughball is standing there, and he was like,
I say, oh, Doughball.
yeah, I heard some commotion. I was about to leave for the night.
All right, you're off book.
Okay.
Dirtha comes,
He just,
clambering back in. She's not quiet by any means. And she gives him a pat on the belly and says, see you at bowling night.
okay.
See you next Tuesday.
Do you guys want me to go watch those guys?
No, they're fine. We'll lock up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're good.
Bye-bye. And
See
he
you next Tuesday.
high-fives both of you.
Big.
Big
Big high five.
Yeah.
And right before he closes the door, he goes, do you guys think I'll be able to keep my job after this? I've kind of taken to dishwashing.
Just
Um.
keep up that acting. You knew
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And
Left
he
the
goes,
door open by mistake.
"Toodaloo," and then his real accent comes out. And he goes, see you guys Tuesday. And then he runs down the street prancing because he's an actor.
All right.
And I want to, Dirtha wants to shut the door behind us now that
Okay.
Orn and myself have caught up and over. Shut the door and lock it.
There's a big bar that goes across.
I hope you
Okay.
slam it
And
down.
you guys have made it in. To the Biscuit Bastion, you turn around and you find yourselves in a massive marble floor hallway / kitchen. And there are decorative ovens lining the walls.
the front door leads right into the kitchen.
Well, because the front part of this is his bakery. And so the front door, decorative ovens lining the wall, each with a little counter for his chefs that he has working with him to bake. And then at the back wall, an epically gigantic, beautifully ornate, gnomish oven, gears and whirs, where Regley, of course, cooks himself when the shop is open. And
Right.
everything is very silly. There's tapestries, there's gold handles. It's clear that in the last year, Regley has done well for himself.
I think Min looks around, just kind of shakes her head and is like, all this extravagance will ruin the biscuits.
Biscuits are for the people. And you guys know, the only thing you know, is that this building is a lot bigger than this cafe or bakery. And next to the big ornate oven is an ornate door.
I say, Dirtha, get ready.
I'm so ready.
Orn's clicky clacking around on the little marble floor, his little dragon scales.
Orn, can you hover?
Huh?
Can you hover?
Yeah. And he starts flying. And he just like goes up and he just like grabs a tapestry and it just starts tearing down and he's wagging his little tail. He goes over to an oven and opens it, looks back at you guys. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, all right. Orn, just follow us.
Yep.
So I go over to the ornate door, and Dirtha just jiggles the handle.
It jiggles, but nothing happens. It appears to be locked.
All right. I say, should have expected this.
I want
And
to use one of our flashbacks.
Oh.
Ooh.
okay,
Okay, Dirtha.
that's
Flashback. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. What has Dirtha done?
Dirtha.
Or the team in general, but Dirtha focused.
Yes, Dirtha, when we were planning for this heist, we knew it was going to be a big thing. And Min had been telling me all about her previous thing. And so we knew that Regli had made a new building and that this was new. And so she actually went to her family.
In Pinebrook. Uncle
and-
Keith?
Yeah. All,
Keith.
to help because dwarves with the building and just having like stonemason work and all of that kind of thing wanted to get the plans, the blueprints for the building, and was hoping to use her family connections to find the builder and to possibly see if there were any notes written about special things that were put into this building.
Yes. Not only did you do this, the thing about flashbacks, by the way, however creative you guys are, I'm basically in my head doing some DC dropping and whatnot, like this idea. Your Uncle Keith knew a guy who was your fourth removed twice cousin, whatever named. Yeah, I was going with Crowbert.
Crowbert's fine.
Crowbert. And he goes, hey, Dirtha, I haven't seen you since you were a little tack. You used to run around and pick up your Uncle Keith, throw him around. He's so weak. You're so strong.
Yes, because I have become Dirtha the Mighty.
I heard. That's cool.
Yeah, I was hoping.
How'd wizard school work out?
Oh no.
I play it up big as like, oh, pretty good. Look at the cool tricks I've got, and I like pop out some dancing lights and make them do
First
something
one in our
like,
family to become a wizard, everybody. Yeah.
Dirtha, like, it looks, sheepish and a little like side eye, but
Okay.
Yeah,
He goes,
we just
I
gotta
got the
roll with
plans
it."
for you. My guy I know built the thing.
yeah, I was hoping you'd know maybe some secret places or ways that we could get around, like maybe they put in a failsafe, or do you know anybody who's like made some interesting locks and I could have like a skeleton key made for it, or just to know somebody who knows somebody.
Skeleton key. You're a dwarf, aren't you? Aren't you like my 17th cousin, fourth removed?
Dirtha like looks down at herself and her arms and is like,
Yeah, you don't need no
Yeah?
skeleton key. Here, I'll tell you what. The guy I know, he built that main room where the big fancy gnomish door is. But you know what they did? They made it so that you could still pull that door off, because those gnomish doors, they're finicky. They need repairing all the time. So you just gotta have somebody strong enough. Pick it on up just a few inches. It'll pop right off them hinges. You think you're strong enough, Dirtha?
yeah, absolutely. I'm the mighty for a reason.
Cool. Well, careful. It's a giant, heavy metal door. It might make a lot of noise. And you got to pick up in the lower left corner exactly 47 pounds per square inch of lift power.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Any other secret rooms or things? I'm like looking for that blueprint, looking for the things
I think
built in.
I don't know much, but I do know you're gonna have to be careful in the next room. He has some sort of traps, some sort of floor-based traps.
Dirtha's writing notes in her rage book.
Yeah.
to hopefully remember to go back through later.
Isn't your whole thing that you have like very nice handwriting,
But
like
terrible
your
spelling and grammar.
Calligraphy, it's beautiful.
So perfect. This is
And now we
Now I
flash
know.
forward.
Diddly, diddly, diddly.
And you try the door, and you remember Crowbert's words of
I
wisdom.
pull out my book real quick and I flip through to my notes. I'm like, okay, Crowbert,
Huh? Who?
great uncle, cousin, 30 times removed,
Changes every time.
said
Alright.
that there's going to be traps in the next room, but I'm going to lift this door, but it's going to be loud.
All right.
You ready?
Think so.
Did we do anything to make it quiet? Did we bring anything to muffle it?
Um,
We're just hoping that we
You're
took care
strong
of the
enough.
guards and that it's...
Well, or you know, there's a certain amount of stealth that I would allow with something like this because strength is involved, and to be strong.
Oh, actually, I would like to take a little flask of oil out of my pouch. And would like to quickly oil the hinges
No, to
and
make it
the
extra nice.
mechanisms.
Okay.
So
And so,
Dirtha is gonna think back to Crowbert asking me about what kinds of magic I learned, and that sends me thinking about how horrible wizard school was. I'm just going to be sitting there flexing and doing that heavy breathing,
I
setting
pull out a
myself up for it.
crowbar. And
Okay, and I'm ready.
all right, you
Make
get your
that-
fingers underneath that left corner door, and you start lifting, and you lift and lift and lift.
Uh-huh.
It's a lower DC.
I rolled a 13, but I have an 18 then.
Oh, with
Oh,
athletics?
with
Yeah.
athletics.
oh, nice.
So I will say you're the one making more noise than the door.
Just a super
The
Dirtha with a
strain.
super grunt.
Yeah, the strain and the grunt. And I'd like to think too that Orin like flies over a little bit concerned that you're like in pain and being hurt. And he's like cocks his head and he's like,
I meanwhile I've wedged a crowbar under the door and am trying to
I think
lever it up.
I think you went to do that, and Dirtha, right before you actually provide leverage, Dirtha finally gets the
The pop.
lift, the pop up,
Oh, all right.
and the door starts tipping back towards you.
Um,
And so
or
I'm in like full squat
Yeah.
position, and now it's like coming towards me, and I'm having to figure out how to hand.
I reach up since I was also in front of the door and say, "Orn, grab that."
nope, Orin puts his hands up.
Bonking your head.
Orin and you can do a strength check.
14.
Are you,
Uh-oh.
My dice are very Dirtha today.
Oh no.
what'd you get?
A 7.
I will say
14?
a 14 and a 15. You did your
I
work.
did my part.
Yeah,
Nice.
and you borderline cramp. So you kind of let go of the weight of the door and have to squat sideways to get out from underneath it. But Orin and Min are able to gently, slowly set it down onto the ground.
I'm doing that squat shuffle, and my
Yeah,
neck's at like a
crab
very
walking
weird
out, yeah.
angle as
and
I'm
Min
underneath it.
Min and
I
Orin with a 16 are able to lower it down.
Okay. That was heavier than I thought it would be.
Obstacle done.
I get up and I stretch, and my back like pops and weird things. I'm like, oh,
Nice job, Dirtha.
bowling might be hard this week.
All right.
A show kitchen. The next room is a real kitchen.
Ah.
And in this room is prep tables. There's very used looking ovens. There's, blackened dishes and things. There's a side in the back where there's some cleaning stuff where Doughball probably works. This is very clearly the actual place where they do a lot of the baking, and the stuff out front is kind of for show.
Mhm.
And so as you peer in, please make a perception check.
Natural 1.
Are you kidding? We both rolled a natural
Oh,
one.
no.
How'd
You
Orn do?
both rolled a natural one.
really?
Orn does not get to perceive traps.
Can I?
So,
Oh, can
no.
I use my magical awareness that I get as a wild magic barbarian?
oh, sure.
So as an
What does
action,
that do?
as an action, I can open up my awareness to the presence of concentrated magic. So
Okay.
it's only if it's magical.
Well,
And until the end of my next turn, I know its location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover.
okay.
Um,
Yep. You get you get two magical pings in this room. Both corners of the room, one to your right, kind of right around the corner of where you're looking in, and one to the far side. They are not moving, but they are strategically placed
And
in the
I'm-
corners. And that is
Assuming
what you sense.
school of magic that they're
Conjuration of sorts. Not actually,
abjuration.
not abjuration, more of a conjuration, more of a summoning, more of that type of thing.
Okay. I let Min know. There when we step in, and over there across the room,
There's
the trap seems to be making something, not necessarily a blowing upping something.
okay.
And
And you both don't see anything. It's dark in here. So dark. And we'll say that there's a little layer of smoke from when the restaurant was open because you both rolled a nat one. It gets in your eyes and you're both blinking.
I was
wet
gonna say
eyes.
that I
So you
smacked my head
sense- Oh,
on
yeah,
the top
there
of
you
it,
go.
on the door.
Yeah, you smacked your head and you have
I-
stinging eyes. So you sense that, but you see nothing.
Okay.
Because nat ones.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Since it seems to be summoning something, she said, I am going to throw, actually, to test it, a single caltrop
Okay.
onto the floor in the middle of this kitchen.
You throw, it goes whoosh, 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 cling, 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 cling on this stone floor.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
All right.
Dirtha's little eyebrows furrow really heavy, and she grunts, and then light starts to glow around her hands, and the dancing lights go thump, thump, thump. And I get a string of lovely lights in the room, and I wipe my brow like, whew, that was work.
And with that, you are able to see the more deeply into this kitchen. There's a door on the far side as well. And yeah, it's a work kitchen.
All right. I say, well, that didn't do anything. I step into the room.
Okay.
And attempt to edge along the wall.
You step into the room. You hear a noise to your right,
Mm-hmm.
and you look over, and there is a construct that appears to be made of...
Biscuits?
No.
Oh.
It's a biscuit construct.
I would not be surprised.
But it is a construct that appears to be made of similar parts to what's going on here with the ovens, almost dog-like in its appearance. And its metallic head turns towards you and looks, and a little spot on the end of its nose glows a bright blue color. And then it barks.
Okay.
And you guys need to roll initiative.
I was hoping I could disable it.
Nope. As the arcane sniffing dogs have activated. How you doing over there, Dirtha?
14? How you doing?
These dice work so well for me when I play. It's Dirtha.
Dirtha's
Dirtha's
cursed. Okay.
Oh no.
So we have initiative. What did people roll?
14.
9.
Oh no. That's what I rolled originally, so.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you were unprepared. You stepped in, and as this thing looked towards you and cocked its head and its nose glowed, it barks, and then it goes to attack first.
Okay.
And rushing forward, both of them rush
In the different corners.
from the different corners, and they rush towards the middle of the room, and they have massive movement speed, and they rush right out the door and go for Dirtha.
Oh.
And
What?
you are actually not paid attention to. They go around you.
Oh.
And they go towards Dirtha, and they both are going to rush forward and make attacks on you.
Okay.
They're just little dog things, knee high even to you, and they
Dirtha
both
smash. No.
have two attacks. One got a 14,
That misses.
and one got a 17.
That hits.
Okay, you're just going to take a small 4 damage. But as you are damaged, you feel like the nose that touched you as it bit towards you, it left like a glowing blue mark,
Yeah.
almost like an indicator of maybe a thief of sorts. An arcane marker.
Okay.
Now it is your turn there, Min. You are
All right.
maybe a little surprised that this
These
thing
things-
rushed right past you to go towards Dirtha.
Both of them did?
Both of them.
I think since they're now behind me,
Like within 5 feet. but
Yeah. I think I whip around, and since they're right behind me, are they like they're like made of metal?
Mhm.
I am actually going to grab one by the tail if it has, and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. You shock its butt.
13?
13 hits.
Oh, okay.
They're not
Just-
super strong.
To see what it does. 8 lightning damage.
And this is lightning damage. Yeah, that hurts. Hurts maybe a little bit more than a normal creature, but it definitely hurts. And this thing shocks and goes, "Gah!" And as you do that and you finish the shocking grasp, it turns its attention from Dirtha and is now looking at you.
Okay. Didn't.
And Dirtha, it is now your turn.
Would like to rage.
Ooh, we get to see new rage.
Oh, yeah. Higher
So-
level.
My magic capabilities have grown, but they are not very well honed because I am a terrible wizard. But that has ended up being more of a wild magic. I can't control it very well. So when I go into a rage, something happens. And so I'm rolling a d8 on a wild magic table.
Ooh, fancy.
Do some silliness.
And I rolled a 6, which means as I go into rage, until it ends, I am surrounded by multicolored protective lights. I get a bonus to my AC, and while within 10 feet of me, you and Orn also get that bonus.
Whoa, is it a
Oh.
+1 or something?
+1 to AC.
Whoa, that's awesome.
So it's
So
I have
a
very
temporary-
high
I like
armor
to think
class
your
now.
dancing lights that you sent into the room like duplicated, and those lights come and start swirling around you in a magical aura.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay. So that happens as I go into
that's your bonus action.
yeah, because I'm going into the rage.
Okay.
Wild magic comes out of me, so now there's a whole bunch of lovely little lights around me
Nice.
that is giving us within 10 feet an AC boost.
It even matches kind of your already magic color spray. Your
And I am going to say, "Bad tiny doggy," and going to try to swing with my new cold great axe that I got
Yeah.
from Rorn.
You did. You got a beautiful frosty axe.
So 12. Does a 12 hit?
is their armor
Thank
class.
goodness.
Nice.
Exactly their armor class.
Oh my god.
I think you can.
So
Have your ability
the first
to.
one takes 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then a bonus a d6 in cold. So 3 cold damage. Once per turn. So I'm going to hit with my great axe and I'm going to cleave through to the
Nice.
next one if
Okay.
he's within 5 feet
They're
of the other
within
one
5
because
feet
they're
of
pretty
each other,
close.
yeah.
Cool. So I go to hit that one as well with a cleave, which is 17 to
Definitely
hit.
hits.
And they don't take the bonus damage, just the weapon damage. So it is
Just
the
the
D12, which is 8.
So the guy that just turned to face you, shocking grasp, all that stuff. Dirtha's frosty axe cleaves through, leaving a frosty trail, slices through the one next to you,
Oh.
and it explodes into a death burst. Sorry. Can you make a
no.
dexterity saving throw? But the one in front of you is still kicking.
Okay.
Barely.
Dexterity
Saving throw.
11?
11, so you take 4 damage.
Ow. Okay. What does it explode into?
A lot of that blue arcane, so you are now spattered with
With-
blue glowing stuff, and Dirtha still has the mark on her arm as well.
This big blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a marker of sorts.
Okay.
It is the Biscuit Hound's turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Biscuit Hound?
Sorry, that's what I called it. That's not
Nice.
what they're called, but that's what I'm calling it in my
I
initiative
said,
order.
I said bad doggy.
Yeah,
It's
Biscuit
fine.
Hound. Everything's biscuit related, even though it might not actually be biscuit related.
Nice.
It is going to. So it's the one in front of you, Dirtha. It's going to swing, or it's going to try to bite at you.
Okay.
Ugh, terrible. 7.
No.
You're ready for it this time. It barks again. Bark, bark. But no.
Wait, no.
Orn is very excitable and has been enjoying getting into the fracas. He was ready to fight trolls in your
Yeah.
recap. I think he just awkwardly climbs over the top of you. It's honestly like a little bit uncomfortable as he wants to get into the battle. And so he pushes you almost out of the way and he lunges off of Dirtha to take a bite attack, which he hits. He got a 19. And so Orn does enough damage. So I like this. He lunges off of Dirtha. Dirtha, you kind of get pushed back into that first room by the force of this dragon wormling pushing off of you. Almost fails at the attempt, but does manage to bite the thing, and a little frosty bite as He bites into it, and like a dog that found a treat, he just wriggles it back and forth in his mouth until the thing falls apart. But it does still technically count as a death burst. So Orn, Orn.
Oh, okay.
It's just, yeah. Orn super succeeds.
Nice.
And so he's only going to take 2 damage.
Does he get marked as well, or?
Yep. You are all 3 now glowingly marked by a bright glow of blue.
Okay, I think as I'm kind of like heavy breathing, like wasn't expecting these things, I would like to use one of my flashbacks,
Awesome.
I think. And possibly going back to Griselda, actually.
Okay.
Since she was talking about how the power of the pine biscuit.
Yes.
And I think I was talking to her, and I asked, is there anything that Wrigley has gained from the abilities of the pine biscuits? And
Wrigley?
yeah.
Well, I don't think so. The pine biscuit's just kind of restorative. It doesn't really do that kind of thing. But I've heard that he's been stealing other stuff, other recipes, other things. So I don't know what to expect in there. But
All right.
his magic is increased tenfold, probably. I don't know for sure. Seemed like a good number.
As a sorceress yourself,
Try again.
sorcerogress.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think I would have asked Griselda, do you know of anything that can dispel like a magical effect other than having to know a spell to dispel magic?
Now you're worried about getting
I'm worried about
trapped or
getting,
something?
Yeah, like trapped or enchanted.
I got a little something here. Hang on 1 second. And she goes into the back room, and then she comes back out with a burlap sack.
All right.
And she goes, this here is my sack of removal. You gotta climb in it, and when you come out,
It'll.
any sort of magical effect on you will go away. But you gotta be careful because it'll also de-magic all your stuff.
Oh. Okay.
But it's cool.
I say, would it be all right if me and my comrade borrowed this for
Anything for the fine biscuit heist.
All right.
And she tosses you the burlap sack. She goes, plus I got another one in the back.
All right.
Okay.
Let me tell you what, you take a bath in that thing, you feel cleaner than you've ever felt before because it just removes everything
It's a sack.
of removal.
Sack of removal.
Okay.
And now we flash forward
Flash
again,
forward.
and you remember the sack in your bag that
All right.
Brazelda gave to you.
Okay. I think I say, all right, hang on. And I pull it out, and I actually try to very quickly take out of my bag any magical items that I have, which is a lot.
Yep.
And so I
You place them on the ground there.
yeah, I place them on the ground, maybe
Okay.
like fold it and stack it. And
Dirtha sighs and holds the sack open.
just like,
Min
all
jump.
right, give me a second. And I
while Min's disrobing, Orn just like jumps in and does a little like
Does
dragon
the
wiggle.
like cat thing where they like circle around in a space that's too small for them.
Yeah,
Comes out clean as a whistle, silver.
all right.
it worked.
All right, and I jump in
Okay.
without any of my magical items.
Yep. You
And
jump in.
I close it over her head and then open it back
Just
up.
Give it a shake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
say, Dirtha! From
Okay.
inside.
And you pop out.
Dirtha takes off her cloak, puts down the sending stones,
Max,
takes
yeah.
two things,
I hold it open for you.
and
So
I
hopefully
climb
this will
in
get rid of
and
it.
trip over the edge a little bit and just like settle into the bottom
Mhm.
and lay there all starfished.
I think I.
It only takes like a moment, and you open the sack after a minute,
Yeah, I
and
opened
Dirtha's
the
just
sack.
laying there.
Did it work?
It worked.
All right. You don't have any blue
I look
on
at the
you.
blue spot on my arm. It's all
It
gone.
is gone.
Okay, I climb
Right.
back out and
You guys-
put the cloak back on.
I dump you out.
Be out. Okay. You guys both stand
God,
up.
I
You
got
both
this.
look at each other. You both realize that also it took off both of your eyebrows. So you guys are both eyebrowless.
I noticed that Min's are missing, and I'm like giving her a look, but I don't say anything.
Dirtha, what happened? Never mind. And I grab all of my magical items again.
Okay. And you
I
guys are in
Right.
this kitchen.
So we're looking around.
Uh-huh. You want to make perception checks?
Yeah.
There's dancing lights in here now, so it's much easier to look around and see what's going on.
I want to look around to see if there seems to be any more traps or space,
Okay,
like
then I
hiding
would say
spaces.
investigation for you.
All right.
I'm just looking for a recipe box because that's the only thing I can think of that somebody would actually keep them in.
13.
13. You don't notice any more dog beasts. You don't notice any more trapped things immediately. Just a prep kitchen room with some dogs that were
All right.
doing stuff.
And there's a door on the other
There's
end.
another big door. This one's stone on the far side, and you did not know anything about this door
When I look
on your current list.
back to my blueprints, it's just another
The
room.
the blueprints aren't very clear past this point. Regally, obviously,
It's just showing that there's rooms.
yeah.
and
There's
that
rooms, but you don't know what to expect in them or
Okay.
how they're trapped or anything like that.
Okay.
Say, Dirtha, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. I reach over, and is it a doorknob or is it just like a push
It's actually
open?
just a stone archway door.
Okay.
And as you reach, are you touching it?
Yeah, I reach over.
A bunch of these runes appear on the door.
I pull my hand back.
And
Case.
lit up in the door in orc. Does anybody speak orc?
No.
Are some words in orcish.
Oh, I turned to Dirtha. Do you know what that says?
Not that I'm aware of, but I didn't know I spoke dragon either.
I turned to Orn. Do you know what that says?
Yeah.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Yeah. Then he goes to play with some of the dog beasts.
Can you tell us what it says?
Yeah. He doesn't say much more than that.
I think Min just turns to the door and just as a little experiment says, "Speak, friend, and enter."
A giant red buzzer goes,
Oh.
and then there's 3 little ticks, and one of the ticks goes away.
Oh. Oh, wait. I think I know what to do.
Okay.
I just say, Dirtha, stand back. And I am going to, again, place my hand on the door.
Okay.
I'm going to cast a new spell that I have learned called Knock.
Ooh, called knock. As you cast a knock, you put your hand forward, and you all hear this loud ka-chunk, and the things turn green, and they turn to common as it goes from there, and it says, "The Baker's Den."
Oh.
And then the door creaks open. I'll take a knock spell. Nicely done.
Dirtha's busy with her great axe in one hand, and she's using that fist on the handle to smash into her other hand to keep thinking about those.
All right.
The wizard school. Gotta maintain the rage.
Dirtha, remember the blueprints.
Yeah, too many things to remember.
So are you charging in, Dirtha?
Yeah.
Okay. You're trying to keep the rage?
Yeah, trying to keep the rage. So I'll go first.
I think I open the door and turn back to Dirtha, and she's already halfway
I'm
through.
like, yeah, got this. I got this.
Oh, okay.
Dirtha,
Orn.
you rush in.
Yeah.
And you find yourself in a hallway. Is it a hallway? Is it a maze?
No.
Why, oh why, are there so many Dirthas looking back at you? And you realize as you step into the room that this is a hall of mirrors.
Oh.
And staring back at you are so many Dirthas. Only as you look at them, they're not all the same, are they?
Oh.
No, some of the Dirthas are very sophisticated and knowledgeable looking, maybe wizard-like. Some of the Dirthas are more barbarian, wearing a loincloth and furs and standing over slain beasts. And there's lots of Dirthas here. And they're all looking at you ever so slightly judgmentally as you make your way into the hallway.
I follow in after her?
You follow in after you. Similarly, Min.
Okay.
In fact, weirdly, Dirtha's right in front of you, but all the reflections are Min for you.
Oh.
Yep.
Interesting.
And you see different Mins. You see criminal Min. You see a Min who looks an awful lot like she runs her own biscuit bastion and covered in biscuits and things like that. And again, looking towards you judgmentally.
Okay.
They follow you everywhere you go.
You got a plan?
How tall are the mirrors? Do they
There's
reach the
mirrors
ceiling?
above you looking down, too.
I know. Do they reach the ceiling? The ones that...
You can't see a ceiling. There's a mirror probably 10 feet above you.
Oh, okay. I say, Orn, can you fly up real quick?
He flies up and goes thunk,
Oh.
and then rubs his head, and he goes, yeah.
Okay.
And
Come back down.
comes back down, rubs his head a little bit more, and he's looking at himself in the mirror. All of Orn's reflections are just like various stages of dragon life.
I think Dirtha closes her eyes and she holds her hands out in front of her and shuffles forward until I can find an opening.
Okay, can you, do you feel like this, they're all looking at you, affects you in any sort of certain way?
Yeah, I'm not very like wise or intelligent. That's they're confusing.
They're confusing. Okay. So then you close your eyes and you
like they
Go
don't
forward.
like upset me in any sort of way. It's just like that's not how I look.
Okay.
And like a very like
Good to know.
weird.
Min, how do these make you feel?
I think she feels a little bit vindicated because I think she feels a little judged by the fact that there's different and also very successful looking Mins that she's.
So you have some jealousy there?
I think I have a little bit of jealousy towards.
Okay, can you
the
real
alternate
quick just
versions.
for me make a charisma saving throw?
A charisma saving throw. 22.
Yeah. They make you a little grumpy, but you're fine.
I think I follow Dirtha.
Okay.
I
Dirtha's eyes
do-
are closed.
Yeah, my eyes are closed and I'm looking for an opening in the mirror and just see if I can find my way.
You find a corner. You make a corner.
I do keep my eyes open. Once she finds a corner and goes around it, I follow her. And as I do, I cast Prestidigitation and make a little engraving of a spoon appear on the mirror on the corner.
You have a pathway.
Yes.
Okay. A spoon carving. You continue on. You start going. There's mirrors.
Yeah, I'm
You
kind of
take
trying to
another
feel my way.
right, and then you take another right, and then you should be back to where you started, and you take another right.
I
And
look for
you
the spoon.
keep taking rights, and the spoon is
No, we're.
not the way you're going.
I put my hand on your shoulder. Dirtha, wait.
I like open and squinch one eye open and still see all those Dirthas.
Yep, and they're all
And I
they're
look at
closer
Min.
to you now, and they're also squinching an eye judgmentally.
I reach out to touch one of the mirrors.
Okay.
Is it there?
Yep, it's a mirror.
There's something weird going on here. I think it's time for a little bit of experimenting. I take out my crowbar.
Okay.
I say, Dirtha, give me a sec. And I jam the crowbar into the nearest mirror.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Horrible. 3.
It bounces off,
Oh.
and as it bounces off the mirror, you notice that in the reflection, you're not holding a crowbar at all. You're holding a giant whisk.
All right.
You guys hear a
I
couple
think-
more thumps, and you look back, and Orin's like headbutting one of the mirrors, and then trying to fly up again and scratch at it, and he's just thumping around.
Okay. I think, yeah, actually, I'm going to use another one of Min's flashbacks.
Okay, Min, the crowbar doesn't work, and suddenly you doodly-doo flashback.
I flash back to one of our earlier bowling nights with Doughball.
Okay, love it.
And I think as we're bowling, we've been asking Doughball about the protections in place he might know.
Mhm.
And I asked Doughball, are there any, have you ever ventured beyond the kitchen as the dishwasher? Have you gone into the rest of the biscuit?
Oh, do you mean through the big stone door that says Baker's Den?
Oh, there
I think
is
that's
one.
how he sounded after I decided he was an actor.
Oh, right. Have you gone beyond that?
Yes, I have, of course I have. No, actually I haven't, but I've seen into it once.
Oh.
I saw Regley himself go through there.
And what
And
happened then? Was
He
there
stood in front of the mirror and he put his hands up like this, and then he said, I am the best baker in the land. All of my ideas are originally mine. And then the door closed and I didn't see any more, but that's what I saw.
All right.
Wow.
Yep.
All
Anyway,
right.
nice strike, Min.
Thank you. Nice one to you too.
Yeah, take that, you El Terrell Eels, the enemy team.
Every bowling ball that Dirtha chucks down goes immediately into the gutter, but it goes gutter hard to where it pops out at the end and manages to get some pins. And
Nice.
it's like, that's her
The
strategy.
clutch maneuver of a couple pins every time.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
You
think-
start in the gutter.
Yeah, I
and see
start
if you
in the
can come
gutter.
out.
Thank you, Doughball. And Min has now formulated a plan.
Okay. You flash back forward.
Flashback. I stand in front of the nearest mirror.
Okay. You see a Min who is standing there, hood up, scars on her face, a grizzled criminal.
Right. And I say, Dirtha, I have a theory. I stand up to the grizzled criminal version of myself. And I say, one day, I'm going to stop making biscuits. I'm going to lead a life of unsatisfactory things. And I hold up my hands.
Okay. You hold up your hands. You place it there. The mirror smirks at you. And Dirtha, you watch as Min goes into the mirror and disappears.
Does Dirtha know enough about Min now that we've been going on for a year to not be, like, confused by that?
I think so. You leveled up a little bit.
That I know.
I think you're confused about the magic, but I think you maybe
understand that was a lie.
That was a lie, yes. Because you know
Min is
that
never going to stop
Min
making biscuits.
Would absolutely never stop making biscuits.
Okay, so I turn and I look at Orn.
Yep.
I say, Orn?
Yeah.
You gotta lie to yourself and touch you?
Okay.
I think that's what I'm getting here.
Yeah. He just looks at the thing and he headbutts it really hard and he looks at it and he goes, yeah. And then and Dirtha, you are left alone in this room with all the Dirthas looking back at you.
Okay. I find the Dirtha that is in mage robes.
Yes. Regal mage robes, sideburns shaved, washed hair, books at her side, maybe a little owl familiar resting on your shoulder, that kind of vibe. Aura of magic.
My rage really picks up, but I put my hands on the mirror and I say, I am Dirtha the Mighty, greatest wizard of all time. Put my hands against that mage Dirtha's hands.
Okay. And she smirks, and you feel yourself woof through as a lie has been told.
But the rage is really, really, so I'm ready to smash stuff as soon as I
like to
through.
think that
Nice.
the mirror starts cracking a little bit as you're trying to tell this
pushed
lie.
really hard.
How does it feel even saying the lie that you are the greatest wizard of all time?
Enraging.
Okay.
But I'm gonna stick to that Dirtha the Mighty, and I'm gonna live up to it. I just won't be the greatest wizard of all time. So.
And as you whoosh through in, we are going to have a moment of a flashback anyway, as Dirtha remembers a conversation she had with Brizelda before you guys left.
You were calmly eating biscuits.
So you were all sitting around eating the biscuit, of course, the best of the three. And she slides you over a hot cup of tea, and she says, "You look like a little bit of a caster too. I know Min can do magic. She even looks like a caster. You know, all you small folk.
Thank
You
you.
can smell it on you like a bad batch of biscuits. I smell it on you a little bit. What's your situation?"
I went to wizard school and I failed.
What kind of spells were you hoping to cast?
I wanted to cast the biggest fireball to smite all of my enemies and become a great wizard. I can only make lights.
Only make lights, huh? Well, you know what I heard. And she gets down low. She looks at both you guys and she goes, I heard that Regler's got something else in his vault, too. Something called the Ember Brand. Legend has it that anybody who wears this bracelet can have control over fire. And that might be in the vault, too.
Bold.
You just gotta...
You don't want that, do you? And Dirtha starts playing in her tea.
No! Come outside and look at this! And she leads you guys outside and she just creates this massive fireball and just launches it up into the sky. She's like, I don't need no bracelet.
I need a bracelet.
Okay. Well, you should keep your eye out for it. She points at her own single eye. And then we come back through, and as you guys warp through the mirror...
Dirtha is so ready to prove that evil mirror Dirtha completely wrong. And have a bracelet that can do fire.
That's true. And as you guys come... Huh?
Min, meanwhile, is promising to herself that I will never stop making biscuits. I will never stop making biscuits.
And Orn steps through too. You guys look behind you. There's nothing there. It's like you've stepped in through a portal. And as you come into this room, there's a very large room. Sand floor, oval in shape. And as you step into this room, you feel the ground start to shift and it start to sparkle a little bit. And this sand, is it sand you're standing on? It's starting to shake and rumble, and
Wait,
you feel
what
your feet.
color is the sand?
It's kind of like a light brown color of sorts.
I reach down and taste the sand.
You taste the sand. You taste it. Is that brown sugar?
I knew it.
Suddenly, from all corners of the room, the brown sugar starts to shift and pull towards the center of the room, and a lump starts forming up and up and up until it's about 12 feet tall.
I want to slash at it
Yeah.
because I'm so mad.
And before you can do anything,
no.
the creature's arms fold out, a little mouth folds out, and the brown sugar golem lets forth a roar of anger. And before you can do anything, you guys find yourselves no brown sugar left on the floor. Roar quaking you in your boots, maybe, I don't know. And that's where we're going to end this week's episode of the Biscuit Heist.
Does Dirtha still have rage?
Yeah, I'll
Or has
let
it
you
been
have
10
rage.
minutes? Okay.
It's been...
I've got uses, so I can
you've got
keep
uses.
going if I need to.
You guys
but-
made it through the room just fine. Nice use of a flashback, right?
All right.
And with dough ball and whatnot. And so we'll end it there. This is going to be a two-parter. You guys are going to have to keep continuing through the Biscuit Bastion.
Maybe my dice will work better for me next time.
Possibly.
Maybe. Cool. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll see how it continues with more traps and more of Wrigley's nonsense as you make your way to the Pine Biscuit.
I think Min's final shout is, "This has to be unhygienic for the sugar."
All right. And with that, we will leave it there. Thank you all for listening. And we'll see you next week
on
Dadventurous.
Biscuit Edition.